Park Hyunmyoung was stuck in a dead-end job, low pay, no growth, and no dignity. But the final blow came from the one person he trusted, his girlfriend. She left him coldly, saying she saw no future with a man like him. She mocked how her friends were marrying successful men from big companies, and he simply wasn't good enough. Her words shattered him. The next day, Hyunmyoung quit his job. He shut his door and didn't open it again for months. For 3 long months, he stopped functioning like a normal human being. His only escape? Pangenia, a brutally difficult game that nobody had ever cleared. A game infamous for its harsh penalty system. When your character dies, you earn SP, soul points. The higher the value of the death, the more SP you gain. That day, his character died in the worst way possible. A full death penalty. The system awarded him 1.6 million SP. But Hyunmyoung didn't care about victory. He wasn't trying to beat the game. He just wanted one final distraction before deleting it forever. So he did the unthinkable. He dumped all 1.6 million SP into random stats on a new character. He was, after all, the last online player still logged into Pangenia. Then, the screen froze. A new message appeared. A hidden piece has been activated. You have been invited to Pangenia by a singularity. Before he could react, a piercing pain shot through his skull. Voices echoed inside his mind, loud, strange, and overwhelming. Hyunmyoung collapsed to the floor. As his consciousness faded, the final message burned into his vision. Welcome. Find your happiness. A loud, violent slash woke him up. His back burned. Someone was whipping him. He opened his eyes and froze. He wasn't in his room. He wasn't in his body. He was chained, surrounded by others in the same miserable condition. A cruel overseer screamed, "Work, or I'll feed you to the Hydragon." The name struck him like lightning. Hydragon. A monster exclusive to one place. At that moment, Hyunmyoung realized the impossible. He was inside Pangenia. The game world had become reality. Desperate, he silently called out, "System window." And the window actually appeared. Clear, glowing, and real. This was no dream. This was Pangenia. But then came another shock. Every one of his starting stats was 12. Not the normal value of 10. Not beginner level. Something had changed. And the 1.6 million SP he spent has given him 13 hidden traits. As Hyunmyoung studies his system window, the ground suddenly begins to shake hard. Chains clatter, slaves stumble, and even the overseers stop shouting. A deep rumbling noise grows louder from the distance. When everyone looks toward the desert horizon, they see it clearly. An entire army approaching. The slave traders panic. One of them shouts, "The Desert Queen's army. They broke the non-aggression pact. The pact that kept the slavers safe has been violated, and now the Desert Queen's forces are charging straight toward the camp." The one leading them was the Snake Princess. Hyunmyoung quickly realizes what this means. This event happened in the game too. A major turning point where the slave routes collapse. System message popped out giving MC a main quest to survive. If failed, the penalty is death in both the game and reality. Hyunmyoung stays still, observing. A rain of arrows came crashing down and chaos erupted. He stood there blankly and a system pop-up came activating his hidden trait. It was Heart of the Ironblood Monarch, which assists in keeping him calm and assess the situation better. He grasped the situation and took a blade lying beside and began to break free from high chains and defeated the captivators with his swordsmanship, and another master trait is activated, allowing the MC to handle any weapon as if he'd trained with it for years. When the overseers lunged, he met their attacks head-on, parrying, redirecting, and counter-striking with a precision that left even the bald overseer stunned. Then another notification flashed. Weapons proficiency, spear. Level 6. He froze for a split second. Level 6? The maximum proficiency for any weapon was only level 10. Reaching 6 in an instant was something no ordinary human could do. These hidden traits were far more powerful than he had imagined. But he couldn't dwell on that now. A thunderous roar rose from the distance. More than 500 troops surged toward him, weapons raised, determined to end him. He gripped the spear tighter. He had to survive, no matter what. In a brief flashback, the Desert Queen sat upon her sandstone throne, her expression unreadable beneath the shifting desert light. "So," she asked calmly, "the expedition to the demon world failed?" Her advisors lowered their heads. No one dared to speak. The queen tapped her finger against the armrest. "Then we erase every trace of Phasemer's involvement. No witnesses. No records. No survivors." Her gaze shifted to the woman kneeling before her. the Snake Princess, scales faintly visible along her neck. You will hunt down any stragglers from the expedition, the queen commanded. Exterminate them before they return. The Snake Princess bowed deeply. As you wish, your majesty. If you succeed, the queen added, her voice colder than the desert night, I will lift the curse from your body. The Snake Princess's eyes widened for an instant, hope flickering, before she vanished into the shadows to carry out the order. Back in the present, the Snake Princess narrowed her eyes. Are we done clearing out the stragglers? She asked. Her subordinate hesitated, never a good sign. Princess, there's still one slave left. He hasn't gone down yet. Her expression tightened. Meanwhile, the MC staggered to his feet just as a notification blinked before him. Level up, level 2 reached. All fatigue removed. Health fully restored. Strength surged through his limbs. The pain disappeared as if it had never existed. Then she arrived. The Snake Princess stepped into view, desert wind curling around her robes. Instinctively, the MC activated his status check. Isabella von Dergen, level 8. Status, cursed, cannot leave the desert. He swallowed hard. Level 8. A gulf he couldn't cross. After level 7, every increase meant an exponential jump in power. Against her, even at full health, he stood no chance. But her eyes locked onto him, calm, deadly, and certain. The MC suddenly remembered why he ever played this cursed game in the first place. Its extreme, merciless difficulty. Most players quit before the first chapter, but not him. He always pushed through, always searched for a method to clear even the hardest routes. He used to joke about it online. I'm a pervert among perverts. Only a madman enjoys this level of suffering. That stubbornness was the only thing keeping him standing now. The Snake Princess moved. In an instant, Isabella von Dergen blurred forward, her speed monstrous. A curved blade flashed across his vision, stopping a hair's breadth from his throat. One twitch and he would be dead. But he didn't flinch. Instead, he whispered, barely audible. Do you want to lift the curse? The blade halted. Her eyes widened, shocked, confused, uncertain. No one was supposed to know about her curse, let alone mention breaking it. Who are you? She demanded, voice tense. The MC slowly met her gaze, steady and fearless. I am the one who reads the stars, he said, his voice low but unwavering. The one who leads the stars, the star bearer. For the first time, the Snake Princess hesitated. Isabella froze. The blade stayed at his throat, but her body refused to move. That title, star bearer, was one only a handful of ancient NPCs knew. No ordinary slave should have been able to say it. The MC held his breath, but his mind raced. He knew exactly what a star bearer was in this world. A rare NPC class capable of cleansing curses and status ailments. But that wasn't the real reason he said it. Because Isabella von Dergen. She wasn't just some high-level opponent. She wasn't just a powerful desert executioner. She was his character. A character he had lovingly built during countless hours of gameplay, her skills, her lore, her personality. And then he had thrown her away. Not by choice, but because he selected the wrong story route, locking her behind an irreversible path. She was supposed to be a free spirit, a woman who soared above the sands. Instead, because of him, she became a bird trapped in a cage, bound by a desert curse, forced to serve a queen she despised. Seeing her now, alive, breathing, and staring at him with bewildered eyes, hit him like a punch to the gut. I did this to her. And maybe, just maybe, this time he could undo his mistake. Her fingers tightened around the hilt. Your name? She demanded quietly. Tell me your name. He didn't hesitate. Randolph. The moment he spoke it, the system confirmed it. His character name was officially set. Isabella studied him for a long, silent moment, then turned her back. I will postpone killing you for now, she said coldly. But if you're lying to me, I will tear you apart myself. She raised a hand, signaling the guards. Escort him. Treat him as an honored guest. Until I confirm the truth. The soldiers, who had moments ago wanted him dead, stiffened in confusion but obeyed instantly. A soft chime echoed in his ears. Survival mission, complete. More and more system windows bloomed in front of him. Level ups, items, achievements he never had in his previous playthrough. But he couldn't focus on any of them. The adrenaline drained all at once. His knees buckled. So tired. The world blurred. He collapsed on the sand, and the system windows flickered out as his eyes slowly closed. For now he had survived. The scene shifted. Warm steam curled around him as the MC, Randolph, soaked in a spacious stone bath, scrolling through the endless stream of system rewards. He had expected a few bonuses for surviving. But this? Why is the reward list longer than my entire playthrough? He muttered, flicking through notification after notification. He was still processing the flood of items, traits, and hidden achievements when the door suddenly burst open. 3 maids rushed in, bowing deeply. "Honored guest, we will assist you with your bath." He nearly dropped the system window. "Huh? No, just my feet. Only the feet." The maids exchanged confused looks but obeyed. Randolph sighed in relief. He wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what this was. A test. Star-bearers were said to be ascetic beings. No lust, no attachments, no earthly desires. If he so much as glanced the wrong way, the snake princess would assume he was lying and personally detach his head from his body. He forced his gaze upward, refusing to even see the maids as he reopened his status window. Then he noticed one message blinking at the bottom. Synchronization between Pangenia and reality, 3%. He frowned. What does that even mean? Synchronization? With reality? "Honored guest," one of the maids called gently. Randolph didn't answer, because the system window in front of him made his blood run cold. A new tab had appeared. Hall of Fame. And at the top, shining in gold, was his own name. But below it, he recognized every name on the list. They were the players he had raided with, competed against, joked with in late-night dungeon queues. People from the real world. They're here too? Someone just like me? Before he could process that revelation, another notification slid in. Logout feature unlocked. His heart skipped. Logout. A way back. He snapped the window shut. I need to speak with the stars," he said suddenly. The maids blinked in confusion. "It is a star-bearer ritual," he added with a wise, mystical expression he absolutely did not feel. "Tell the princess that I will meet her afterward." They bowed and scurried out. The instant the door closed. Log out. A flash of white swallowed him. Reality. He expected his room. His computer. His familiar messy desk. Instead, he appeared on a street. A street filled with smoke, overturned cars, shattered glass. And everywhere, monsters. Not fantasy-like approximations. Not similar-looking beasts. These were exactly the monsters from Pangenia. Same models, same animations, same savage screeches. A hulking sand fiend tore through a storefront. A swarm of desert wraiths flew overhead. People screamed and ran, others lay motionless on the ground. Randolph froze. His breath caught. This can't be real. But the synchronization message made sudden, horrifying sense. Pangenia and reality were merging. And the invasion had already begun. Hyun Myung opened his eyes, momentarily baffled by the absurd thought that he had entered a game world. He dismissed it, surely he had only been asleep. But the brief sense of relief vanished when he noticed a golden shard lying in front of him, the very reward he had earned after clearing his last quest. Before he could process it, a loud noise erupted from outside. Sirens blared through the air. He rushed to the window and the sight froze him in place. Monsters were tearing through the streets, monsters he instantly recognized. They were the same creatures he had faced countless times in the game Pangenia. The possibility hit him. The boundary between reality and Pangenia might have broken. If the monsters from the game were now running wild outside, then maybe he could also use the items he had obtained in the game. He picked up the golden shard. A notification flashed before him, stating that synchronization between reality and Pangenia could be activated. Without hesitation he used it. A second message appeared, synchronization with Randolph complete. Cooldown 24 hours. He exhaled slowly, realizing that his game abilities had now merged with the real world, at least for a day. Somewhere on the chaos-filled streets, where monsters rampaged without restraint, a mother and her young child were desperately running for safety. But before they could escape, a collapsing building crashed down on the mother. The child screamed and tugged at the rubble, crying for help, but nothing could be done. A young woman spotted them and rushed in to save the child. Just as she pulled the little one into her arms, a monster appeared behind her. Its shadow fell over them and she felt a cold certainty wash over her. This was how she would die. But before the creature could strike, a blur cut through the air. The monster was sliced apart in an instant. She blinked, stunned. Someone had saved them, but the scene unfolding before her was beyond anything she could describe. A man soared overhead, riding a massive dragon with 9 heads, each unleashing devastating attacks. He tore through the monsters effortlessly, obliterating them as if it were nothing more than a routine task. For the first time since the chaos began, hope flickered in the woman's eyes and she wondered who was he? The news quickly confirmed what people feared. Monsters had appeared not just in one city, but all across the world. Yet, amid the chaos, something else had emerged. Individuals with strange, game-like abilities, warriors, were fighting back, cutting down monsters and protecting civilians wherever they could. Among them was a player known as Massacre. Watching the unfolding disaster, he didn't panic. Instead, he smirked to himself. To him, this was only the beginning. And in this new world where reality and game rules overlapped, the Golden Shard was destined to become more valuable than anything else. He checked the updated rankings for the first time in 2 years. At the very top was a name he didn't expect. Randolph, sitting at an absurd 220 points. Immediately, another name came to his mind, Phantom. The #1 player in Pangania. A legend whose real identity remained unknown to everyone. Phantom was the first person to gather every major NPC for the Demon Expedition trial, a feat no one else had managed. Although he failed just before the final clear, he was still the undisputed top player of the game. Massacre knew one thing for certain. The moment Phantom's strongest character died in the game, he must have been summoned into this new reality as well. And with his insanely high SP, it made sense that he had already achieved such an outrageous score. The scene shifted to Pangania, where the MC had just re-entered the game world. His thoughts drifted to his last expedition, the one that ended in complete failure. The memory of betrayal still stung. The mercenaries and even some NPCs had turned against him at the crucial moment. He considered the possibility that they weren't ordinary NPCs at all. They might have been other players who, like him, had been summoned and were secretly his rivals. If that was true, then he needed to grow stronger, fast. With that resolve, he headed toward the chambers of the Snake Princess. When they met, their eyes locked, a silent understanding passing between them. He explained the condition required to lift her curse. To free her, he had to enter the labyrinth, a dangerous zone rumored to contain a star, an essential item he needed. And more importantly, the labyrinth was tied to his second main quest, obtaining a proper class. For him, this wasn't just a mission. It was the first step toward reclaiming his strength and surpassing everyone who had betrayed him. The Snake Princess froze when he mentioned the labyrinth. "That place is forbidden," she warned. MC replied calmly, "The star that can lift your curse is inside. I have to go." After a tense pause, she reluctantly nodded. "Then I will guide you." The scene shifts inside the labyrinth. She cleared the traps and monsters with ease. Finally, they reached the central chamber. A glowing star fragment floated in the air, radiating silver light. MC stepped toward it, just as the ground trembled and something huge awakened beneath the chamber floor. They advanced deeper into the labyrinth as system messages flashed. Recommended level 8. Area warning, poison and demonic energy detected. A dark mist swirled around them, but MC's hidden trait activated instantly, neutralizing the demonic energy. The Snake Princess halted at the edge of a massive canyon. "We took the wrong path. We must turn back," she insisted. MC grabbed her wrist lightly. "You're scared?" She scoffed. "No. It's obviously a trap. I have a slight cramp in my leg." "Then climb on," he said, turning his back to her. "We don't have time. This is the right path." Reluctant and embarrassed, she finally wrapped her arms around his shoulders. MC stepped to the edge, then leaped. As they fell, his mutant trait awakened again, revealing a hidden route carved into the canyon wall. He landed on it smoothly. "You're scared of heights?" he teased. She stiffened. Ridiculous. Yet her thoughts raced. How did he know this path existed? And how is he so calm around me, as if we've known each other forever? "Have we met before?" she asked quietly. "I've seen you," he said. "But you've never seen me." Before she could question further, they reached an ancient altar. MC pressed the center rune. The world around them shattered into light, and reformed into a tranquil garden overflowing with flowers. Monsters materialized between the flowers, stone golems. MC glanced at Isabella on his back and smirked. "So, is your leg cramp healed now?" Her cheeks flushed, but she slid off him with regal annoyance. In the next instant, she unleashed her true power. A single hiss, then she blurred forward, tearing through every monster with speed and precision befitting a true level 8. Within seconds, the garden was silent again. As MC watched, a system window popped up before him. "Class available, Golem Maker. Accept? Y/N." He declined without hesitation. Class declined. MC only smiled. He already knew what class awaited him. Suddenly the entire garden shuddered. The ground splitting as a deep rumble echoed through the air. Isabella's eyes narrowed. From beneath the earth, a colossal snake appeared. Its eyes glowed like molten suns. The king of mountains. Guardian of the celestial star. Ancient King Dramat. The system blared in MC's vision. Warning, ancient boss detected. Recommended level, 10+. So this was the final trial. Above them, coiled around a shattered pillar, the guardian serpent, a massive celestial snake, watched silently, its golden eyes fixed on the two intruders. Isabella tensed. Don't even think about telling me to fight that. MC waved casually. Relax. It's a friendly god. As long as we don't. He never finished. The giant snake lunged at her with terrifying speed. Isabella barely rolled aside, the impact cratering the ground where she'd been standing a heartbeat earlier. MC froze for a moment, confused. Why the hell is it hostile? The guardian snake spoke and told to prove her qualifications. She screamed, telling him that she wasn't. Then it clicked. In his past life as a transcendent level 10, this guardian treated him like an equal. But to lower level players, it was merciless. The guardian only attacks the weaker one, he muttered, realization hitting him like lightning. And Isabella, still level 8, was now its primary target. Isabella lay on the ground, completely defeated. The giant serpent reared back, ready to deliver the final blow. Stop, Dramat! MC shouted. The massive snake froze mid-strike. Its golden eyes shifted toward him, narrowing in suspicion. How do you know that name? The guardian hissed. Who are you? MC stood firm. I am Wilhelm, your master, who has returned. For a moment there was silence. Then Dramat burst into thunderous laughter, the ground trembling beneath them. Wilhelm? Foolish boy. Wilhelm was a transcendent being, he died in the demon realm. MC didn't back down. I made a contract. And the contract states that anyone who reveals it must die. That rule was made by the very star you serve. Dramat's laughter slowly faded. His giant head lowered, studying MC more closely. So the stars will move again, he murmured. He slithered back and opened a path. Very well. Come. But know this, the star does not acknowledge those who are unqualified. It will burn them instantly. They stepped into a pitch-black chamber, the air heavy and unmoving. Isabella looked around uncertainly. Is this really where the star is? She asked. MC nodded toward the center. This is the altar. And that skull, that is the star. These stars are the scattered body parts of the twin goddess, Leah. He moved forward and reached out toward the skull. The moment his fingers touched it, flames erupted around his entire body. Isabella gasped as Dramat let out a low, mocking laugh. I warned you, the guardian smirked. The star burns the unqualified. MC gritted his teeth, annoyed, but then something shifted. His hidden traits awakened, reacting to the celestial fire. The flames didn't consume him. Instead, they flowed into him, transforming his mana completely. A system message flickered. Star blessing acquired. Mana converted celestial form. His class has now changed into star successor. Dramat's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible. MC stepped out of the altar unharmed. He turned to Isabella. After I lift your curse, what will you do? She hesitated. I want to find my Dresian family bloodline. That is my only wish. MC nodded. Then I'll lift your curse. But on one condition, follow me for just 1 year. I'll keep my promise, unlike the Desert Queen. Isabella's eyes softened, conflicted but relieved, and she kneeled before him, showing her compliance to serve him. MC then looked up at Dramat, his expression firm. Dramat, bow before your master. The enormous serpent resisted for a moment, then lowered his massive head in reluctant obedience. There is also a system message showcasing that he has earned the interests of different constellations too.